The final rune, the elusive water rune, awaited us in the mystical realm of Aquadelia, a land where rivers shimmered like liquid sapphire, their surfaces catching the sunlight in dazzling patterns, and mist curled above tranquil lakes, veiling the world in a dreamlike haze. The air was cool and fresh, tinged with the scent of rain and blooming water lilies, and every step along the mossy banks felt like entering a forgotten legend. Queen Aqua, radiant in her flowing blue gown that seemed woven from the very essence of water, greeted me at the palace gates. Her eyes sparkled with ancient wisdom, reflecting the depths of the lakes she ruled, and her voice carried the calm, unyielding strength of the tides. She had heard tales of my journey through the other kingdoms and welcomed me with open arms, her trust a precious gift in these uncertain times. The palace itself was a marvel, its halls echoing with the gentle sound of fountains, its walls adorned with mosaics of swirling waves and legendary sea creatures. Yet, beneath Aquadelia's serene surface, a storm brewed. Ominous clouds gathered over the coastal city, casting long shadows across the marble docks, and the once peaceful harbor was battered by dark, restless waves that crashed against ancient stone. The air was thick with tension, and the distant rumble of thunder hinted at a conflict that threatened to shatter the kingdom's fragile peace. A naval rebellion fueled by forbidden lightning technology secretly supplied by the cunning Steve threatened to tear the kingdom apart. The fleet, once a symbol of unity and pride, now bristled with tension and crackling energy. Ships that had once sailed in harmony now faced each other with suspicion, their hulls glowing with unnatural light as lightning arced between the masts, illuminating the faces of anxious sailors. Side by side, Queen Aqua and I navigated the treacherous waters of intrigue. We moved through shadowed corridors and wind-lashed decks, uncovering the rebellion's leaders and piecing together the web of betrayal. In the end, we quelled the uprising, not with brute force, but with careful strategy and heartfelt words that reminded the sailors of their shared loyalty, the sacrifices of their ancestors, and the bonds that held Aquadelia together. The tension slowly ebbed away, replaced by a renewed sense of unity. With peace restored and trust renewed, Queen Aqua presented me with the water rune, a luminous gem that pulsed with the rhythm of the tides, its surface swirling with shifting patterns of blue and silver. As I held it in my hands, I felt the cool, soothing energy of water flow through me, a reminder of the power of patience and persistence. At last, the set of 5 runes was complete, each one a testament to the trials we had overcome. Now, the final step remained: to seek out the legendary crystal tomb, whispered of in ancient songs and hidden beyond the horizon on a shrouded island. The morning sun cast a golden glow over the misty waters as we set sail, the silhouette of the island barely visible through the fog, a place untouched by time where secrets waited to be revealed. Poring over ancient scrolls and illuminated manuscripts, we discovered the truth. The 5 runes were keys, each attuned to an element needed to unlock the crystal tomb of the first king, a sanctuary where the core Bangle could be made whole once more. The texts spoke of trials and guardians, of a power that could heal or destroy, and of the responsibility that came with wielding such force. The tomb's location was revealed, a small, forgotten island veiled in Lumina's radiant light, untouched by time and memory. The island rose from the sea like a vision, its shores lined with ancient trees and its heart pulsing with a mysterious energy that seemed to call out to us. As my companions and I placed the 5 runes into the ancient lock, the ground trembled beneath our feet. From the heart of the island, a breathtaking crystalline spire erupted, refracting sunlight into 1,000 dazzling colors that danced across the sky. The air was filled with a resonant hum, as if the island itself was awakening from a long slumber. Inside, the tomb was a sanctuary of awe and reverence. Its walls glowed with ethereal light, etched with the history of Nadaka, and the tale of how the elements were first woven into harmony. Ancient inscriptions spiraled across the crystal, telling stories of heroes and sacrifices, of hope and despair, and of the eternal struggle to keep darkness at bay. Standing in the grand crystal chamber, I felt the full weight of my lineage and the gravity of my quest. The silence was profound, broken only by the soft hum of ancient power. Light filtered through the crystal, casting shifting patterns on the floor, and for a moment, time itself seemed to pause as I reflected on all that had brought me here. Suddenly, shadows swept across the chamber. The temperature dropped, and the air grew heavy with menace. We were ambushed, our triumph cut short by a chilling presence that seemed to seep from the very walls, turning the sanctuary into a battleground. Nox, my shadow clone, materialized before us. The stolen fragments of the core Bangle orbited him in a vortex of dark, crackling energy, casting twisted reflections on the crystal walls. His presence was suffocating, the air thick with the scent of ozone and the promise of violence. He was my mirror image, but his eyes glinted with a cold, predatory hunger, a darkness that seemed to swallow the very light around him. Every movement he made was deliberate, calculated, as if he relished the fear he inspired. At his side loomed the Umbrath, now transformed into a monstrous, towering beast, its eyes burning with malevolent power. Its form shifted and writhed, shadows coiling around it like living chains, and its roar shook the very foundations of the tomb. Nox revealed his true ambition, to absorb me, the original, and claim my light. With that power, he would wield the restored core Bangle and plunge Nadaka into an endless twilight, ruling over a world stripped of hope. His words echoed through the chamber, each syllable laced with venom and certainty. The final battle erupted in a storm of energy and shattered crystal. The air was alive with the clash of elemental forces, each blow sending shards of crystal flying and filling the chamber with blinding flashes of light and shadow. The fate of our world hung by a thread as we clashed with elemental fury, every heartbeat a struggle for survival. Lyra, Kale, and the newly arrived elemental kings fought valiantly against the monstrous Umbrath, their powers lighting up the cavern in a desperate struggle. Lightning arced, flames roared, and torrents of water crashed against the beast, while I faced my own darkness in the heart of the storm. Nox matched me move for move, wielding twisted versions of my elemental abilities, each attack a reflection of my own strength but corrupted. Our duel was a dance of mirrors, every strike and parry echoing with the tension of two souls locked in mortal combat. Fire warped into shadow flame, wind howled as a shrieking gale, and earth erupted as jagged obsidian shards. The air crackled with the raw force of our opposing wills, the very elements rebelling against the unnatural conflict that raged within the tomb. We collided in a blur of light and shadow, our battle a living embodiment of hope clashing with despair. Each strike echoed the struggle for Nadaka's soul, the chamber itself trembling with the force of our conflict, as if the world held its breath. Nox fought with unbridled rage and a hunger for domination, his attacks relentless and merciless. But I drew strength from my friends, my home, and the promise of a brighter future. Every memory, every bond became a shield against the darkness, fueling my resolve to stand firm. The crystal tomb trembled violently, dust and shards raining down as our powers collided. The pillars of crystal flickered with unstable light, and the ground split beneath our feet. The fate of Nadaka teetered on the edge, every moment charged with peril and hope. To be continued, and stay tuned.